look at these three gentlemen.
Huh?
Can your intuition tell you which one is the proud owner of a handlebar mustache? X, Y, or Z? Play your hunch. And now here he is, the host of Play Your Hunch, Merv Griffin.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning and a very happy Wednesday to all of you, from all of us. It's a beautiful day in New York City, and I have a feeling we all feel very good today, don't we? Huh? Nice-looking audience, and I'm sure you folks at home out there are a nice-looking audience, too. Very unusual thing happened as we went off the air yesterday on Play Your Hunch. Right at the last minute, we had winners again. So today we start off Play Your Hunch, playing a hunch for the biggest prize of all, the great big grand prize. So we have two very nervous champions over here. I think I better get right into the game and talk to them. This, of course, is Mr. and Mrs. Shepard from Baldwin, Long Island, our champions.
Morning, Merv.
Morning, Merv.
Morning. Good to see you. They were our champions from before. They, a couple of days ago, won a Somar piano,
That's right.
which was a nice gift. And today, of course, you're playing your hunch for a beautiful present, which we'll be telling you about in a minute. As we went off the air, we didn't get a chance to say goodbye to our challengers yesterday. Peg and Bud Hasty from North Carolina. They were our challengers, and some pretty good ones, too, weren't they? And they're watching. We want to tell them that we are sending along to them a little going-away present, because they were such nice folks. You see Rosemary standing over there. For Mr. Hasty, a Polaroid camera, which is a nice gift. And for Mrs. Hasty, some My Sin perfume by Lampin. Well, the time has come, Mr. and Mrs. Shepard. Once again, you're at that moment where you play for the grand prize. And right now, Johnny Olson's going to remind you what you're playing for today. Johnny, tell him.
It's a Triumph family fun sedan created by the Standard Triumph Motor Company of Great Britain. This stylish car will be the talk of the neighborhood. It delivers up to 40 miles per gallon, has plenty of leg and headroom, and when the rear seat folds down, provides 30 cubic feet of carrying space. This delightful car is yours if you win on Play Your Hunch.
That's an exciting grand prize.
Oh, wonderful.
I can picture the two of you driving right down the street, and that's a lovely gift. All right, observe very carefully our lovely little gal friend over here, Suzanne Storrs. She is holding the keys to the Triumph car, and in just a moment, Suzanne is going to be in position behind one of these Play Your Hunch doors, which, of course, like everything else on the show, is labeled X, Y, and Z. There's a signal. That means Suzanne is in position. All you have to do is tell me which door she's standing behind.
Merv.
That's very
Immediately.
simple. Immediately, right off the top of your head. What do you think?
No premonitions,
No
but just
pre-
playing a hunch and
Yeah.
hoping for the best. X.
You think it's X?
I hope
They
so.
have selected X. Let's see how right they are. Let's open the doors. Well, I'm sorry. I wished you good luck. You selected X. Suzanne, of course, was behind door Y, but the grand prize is still available for our next winners, and that might be you.
Could be.
But you have won yourselves a lovely prize.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to know what you've won?
Love it.
Tell them, Johnny.
Well, here's what you've won. It's a glamorous and exciting vacation for two, a round-trip flight from New York City to Miami, and a one-week stay at the Roni Plaza Hotel in Miami Beach, Florida. You'll have fun in the sun and elegant evenings. Will include full 7-course dinners in the Imperial Room of the Roni Plaza Hotel. It's yours with compliments of Play Your Hunch.
Well, you came out very well. Thank you. That's a lovely gift. Well, I know, Mr. and Mrs. Shepard, that you are anxious to meet your challengers, as we all are. Let's meet them right now, shall we? From Long Lake, Ingleside, Illinois, Maggie and Jerry Molidor. Welcome to Play Your Hunch. Mr. and Mrs. Molidor, welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. May I introduce you to our champions over here, Mr. and Mrs. Shepard.
Hello. Good to see you.
And that's all you're allowed to smile at each other, because from now on it is nothing but competition. You're from out there in Illinois. That's a pretty state.
Uh-huh, isn't it?
Whereabouts is, I don't know Long Lake.
It's
Ingleside?
northwest of Chicago, right near the Wisconsin line.
I see. That's pretty country, the suburbs of Chicago.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
call yourself suburbs?
No, we're a little farther out than that. We're
Chena Lake.
savages out there, they call us.
You're the natives.
That's kind of America.
Let me see now. How many years have you been married?
4 years.
And how about children?
We have 2 lovely little children, a little boy, 1, and a little girl, 2.
That's a nice-sized family. Planning for lots more?
Not for a while.
Well, that's enough to occupy your time. How's your intuition, Mrs. Malador?
Well, I hope it's pretty good. I don't know.
Well, we're going to find out right now because it's time to play your hunch. Let me explain it to you. Each time you play your hunch correctly, you get a point. 3 points wins the game, plus the right to play your hunch for the great big grand prize, which, of course, is still the Triumph sedan. So I wish you lots of good luck. We have no score so far. Let's see how you do. May we have our first problem, please? Yeah, this is the way to start the day. 3 lovely young ladies. Of course, they are labeled Miss X, Miss Y, and Miss C. Now, Mr. and Miss Malador, you have the right to play or pass. What you going to do?
We're going to play.
Play? Good for you. All right, here's your problem. You can see these 3 very pretty young ladies are all well-dressed. But one of these girls has a very practical idea for keeping cool in this warm weather. She's not wearing any stockings. Isn't that amazing? Of course, 2 of them are. It's up to you to play your hunch and tell us which one is not wearing stockings. Is it Miss X?
Well, I think
Wait a minute. I have to show the rest of them. Hold it a minute. Miss Y? You're anxious, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right. And Miss C. See, we have to get all these lovely shots in. All right, now talk it over.
Well, Miss Z looks like she has makeup on her legs.
I think Miss X looks, her legs are quite a bit lighter, unless she hadn't been out in the sun. Let's see.
And Y looks like she has a medium-shaped stocking on.
Aren't they observant?
That's your good.
You know your stockings, don't you, Miss Malador?
I think,
The heel is showing, I can see.
I think it's Miss X.
I think it's Miss Z.
Uh-oh, we got a battle here. This is a whole new show.
All right, this is your line anyway.
What will the Maladors decide? The signal is there. You have to play your hunch.
Z.
You going to go along with it, Mr. Malador?
I'll go along with it.
No, you're not going to battle her at all.
Not today.
All right, let's find out. Miss Z, they have selected you. Could you reach down there in that vicinity and grab, I don't know what to tell her. What do you do? Just grab a hold of a piece of leg there and show us whether you have stockings or makeup.
That's me.
That's you. That's makeup. You're right. They're going to be tough competition, I can tell you right now. Miss X, your name is?
Sally Salve,
From where, Sally?
Astoria, Long Island.
Nice to meet you. Could you
Thank you.
demonstrate to us whether you have on
Yes,
stockings?
I do.
We have to prove everything. Oh, yes, it's definitely stockings. That didn't hurt her at all. Miss Y, you are?
Jean Hayden,
From where, Jean?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, I'll bet. Yes, ma'am. Would you kind of reach down there and do that same little trick? Oh, yeah, they're stockings. I can tell. That's definite. They proved their point. Miss C with a leg makeup. You are?
June Miller,
June?
from Brooklyn, New York.
From Brooklyn, New York. Very well. How long did it take you to put that makeup on?
Oh, I guess about 10 minutes.
About
Something
10
like
minutes.
that.
It's much cheaper than wearing stockings. Huh?
Yes, it is.
Well, just as a little surprise for
definitely.
you, we have some stockings for you.
Oh, how
yes.
nice.
For each one of you lovely young ladies, we're going to give you 6 pairs of nylon stockings from Moja. No Men, beautifully proportioned evening sheer seamless stockings in the new fall jewel tone. How'd I do that, huh? Thank you very much. You're all very pretty. And you're delightful. Good morning to you. Well, so far we didn't stump nobody. That was very good. You played your intuition very well. Now, America's famous 2-in-1 detergent tells you why you need to, why you get to, in today's Rinso Blue.
You get 2, she said 2 in Rinso Blue. Power cleaning and bluing. Bluing 2. 2 in 1 in Rinso Blue.
That 2-in-1 action makes sense, doesn't it? You just can't get this kind of cleanness and whiteness with a single action detergent. But Rinso Blue's 2-in-1 action gives you the perfect combination you need. 1, power cleaning that reaches in and pulls out even deeply embedded dirt. And 2, bluing that blues as it washes and just saturates your clothes with whiteness. Makes colors look brighter, too. Rinso Blue gives you the 2 actions you need for a wash that's both thoroughly clean and sparkling white. There's just nothing like the 2 you get with Rinso Blue. Try it.
You get 2 Rinso Blue.
Remember?
When it comes to game shows, Buzzer's got it.
Let's do it.
We match it.
This is it.
We sweep it.
Oh, boy.
We think it.
All right.
And pass it.
Very good.
We tell it.
Terrific.
We card it.
Glad you're here.
We knew it.
Woo.
We are the home for fun and games.
I don't believe it. It's marvelous.
Now you got it. Buzzer, let's play. For more fun and games, visit buzzertv.com.
All of them are doing it in the audience out there today. That's a nice whistle. All right, let's continue along with Play Your Hunch. Our challengers, the Molidor family here, are leading at 1-0. Let's see how you do on this round. May we have our next problem, please? Well, observe very carefully. 3 beautiful figures here of some very celebrated young ladies. And, of course, they are labeled Miss X, Miss Y, and Miss Z. Of course, the heads aren't showing yet, but Mr. and Ms. Shepard, are you going to play or pass?
We'll play, Merv.
All right. Study these lovely young ladies very carefully. These enlarged photographs were loaned to us by Photoplay, America's leading movie magazine, incidentally. Here we have full-length photographic enlargements of famous celebrities. The faces are covered. One is Grace Kelly. Which figure actually belongs to the Princess of Monaco, Miss Grace Kelly? You talk it over and let me know. Is it Miss X? Give you a nice good shot now. Miss Y?
X looks as if...
Look carefully. Huh? Or is it Miss Z? All right, Mr. and Miss Shepard, go ahead, talk.
Well, X has the dignity of a princess now. Y looks like a glamour girl during her movie career, and Z looks like Grace if she were Grace during her outdoor or summer days.
That's a very nice speech,
well,
sir.
I don't know. They all look like Grace Kelly to me.
She used to wear, as I recall, pictures of her more or less classic-style clothes and rather conservative, like Z.
I think when she was in the movies, though, she was quite a glamour girl,
that could be a
too.
picture in a movie magazine that was taken as a casual shot, not a pose
Could be.
photograph.
I would eliminate X-Peg if I were you, but that's a hunch, a pure hunch. So between Y and Z, you make up the feminine mind.
I like Z.
You like Z?
You like Z, Miss Shepard?
No.
Well,
All right, let's see who this is. They have selected Miss Z.
No.
That's Leslie Caron. She has stumped you so far. That leaves X and Y. Mr. and Mrs. Molidor, talk it over. What do you think? Which one is Grace Kelly?
Well, why? Looks a little too glamorous. I don't think she went in for that sort of thing.
It just seems to me that I've seen this picture in X
I think.
somewhere.
Oh, let's see.
No, I don't think
I'm
it'd be
pretty
what?
sure the way it would be X.
Yeah, I think, well,
Why is
no,
it a little too
X is right. I think I've seen that X. Yeah. I think I've seen that picture.
There's a signal. Play your hunch.
X.
X.
You think it's X. All right, let's find out exactly if you're right or not. This, of course, is Deborah Carr. The ladies have stumped you. And, of course, this is the very beautiful Miss Grace Kelly. Those are pretty pictures, aren't they? Well, we stumped you on that one, didn't we? Aren't we clever, huh?
Oh, I tell you.
You don't trust us for a minute. We pull all kinds of tricks here on Player Hunch. We're going to continue. The score is at 1-0, still in favor of our challengers, Mr. and Ms. Molidor. We'll be right back with you right after station identification.
With the second half of Play Your Hunch with your host, Merv Griffin.
Thank you very much. Have to wave up there once in a while, the balcony. They get a little lonesome up there in that big balcony here at the Mansfield Theater. This, of course, is Player Hunch. Thank you, Johnny Olson. The score is at 1-0 in favor of Mr. and Mrs. Molidor. Let's see how you do on this round, huh? May we have our next problem, please? Well, this is a reach for the sky kind of problem. 3 very well-dressed bandits here. How are things at Wells Fargo, okay? Look them over very carefully. There's Mr. X. Mr. Y. Mr. C. Now, the play passes back to you, Mr. and Ms. Molidor. Are you going to play or pass? Play. You play? Uh-huh. All right. Observe these 3 gentlemen. They are not well-dressed hold-up men out of a wild Eastern movie. Here's the reason for the handkerchiefs. One of these gentlemen has a large, bushy mustache. Believe me, it's something to see. Under his handkerchief, of course. Which one do you think it is? Is it Mr. X? Mr. Y? Or Mr. C? You talk it over and let me know when you reach a decision.
Mr. X there, see how it comes.
You have to speak up a little bit, Mr. Molidor. I'm having trouble hearing you. They're all guessing.
Mr. Y, his follows the contour of his chin.
Well, I think Z is out completely because he looks more like the man who wore the gray flannel suit that works in an office, and I don't think he'd be wearing one. And X could possibly be our man. And Y, he looks Italian.
He looks like he's putting on, doesn't he?
Like he might wear a mustache.
I think
although he doesn't have any hair on his head.
Oh, it all might have gone right down and come out on his
I think Y. I mean X.
I'm
X.
You're going to play your hunch on, there's the signal, on X, huh?
X, right.
All right, Mr. X, they have selected you, sir. Would you remove that handkerchief? Clean as a whistle. You're wrong. I'm sorry, that's a mistake. This is a confusing one. All right, Mr. and Miss Shepard, it passes to you. Y or Z? Talk it over.
Well, a lot of people who have thinning hair on top put mustaches, to replace it. But that again may be one of those traps you set for us before with Grace Kelly.
The Z is more or less the Ivy League type from what we can see, and a lot of the college boys and Ivy League types go into these mustaches now. So it's...
Gee, this is going to be pure hunch. Reason tells me why, but the hunch tells me to go for Z, Peg.
That's very interesting. What do you think, Peg?
Come on, premonition. Let's go for Z.
You're going to go for Z?
The Ivy League boy.
Gentlemen, on my signal, wait a minute. On my signal, would you both remove your handkerchiefs at the same time? At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You're absolutely right. I got to admit, in rehearsal, they confused me. I went right along with you and selected the other 2. Mr. X, you are...
York Blumenfeld.
From where, York?
New York City.
What do you do for a living, York?
Trying to get into television production.
Well, look straight ahead. There might be quite a few folks out there looking at you. Thank you for being on. You, Mr. Y, are...
Irving Meyer,
Irving?
New York City.
New York City? With which company?
Fast Times and Company, Brokers.
Well, you could use a mustache down on Wall Street. You might look very good down there.
Pencil.
And you, sir, are...
Bill
Gillis. I see. That's a very sporty one you got there. Do you keep care of that yourself?
Oh, yes, sir. Nobody else can touch it.
Yeah? How about the girlfriends? They ever complain?
The wife. The wife.
Oh, the wife. I almost did a terrible thing.
She has complained, but as you can see, I still get it.
Boy, you sure have. Then you're the boss in that family, huh?
Well, you said it.
Yeah, I said it. I wanted to get you to say it, though. You're delightful, all of you, and I really appreciate it. Did we find out which company you're with, Mr. C?
I'm in business for myself. I'm in the insurance business.
Well, you can afford to have a mustache. Thank you all very much for being on Player Hunch. We appreciate it. Good morning, sir. Thank you. Delightful gentlemen. Well, game is all tied up at 1 apiece. We'll be right back with you after this word from CBS Television.
When Richard Diamond stops for a cup of coffee at a highway cafe, he hears the sign of trouble in another customer's eyes. And his efforts to straighten out the situation he learns about over a cup of black coffee put him in the position of chief suspect in a homicide case. Now see how this clever detective finally manages to wiggle out of that spot tomorrow night when Richard Diamond is seen over most of these stations. I'm sure you've heard the old saying that where there's a will, there's a lawsuit. Tomorrow night on The Verdict Is Yours, the lawsuit involves a will. You'll be asked to decide whether or not to grant the plea of a daughter to set aside a codicil in the will of her late father. For in this unrehearsed courtroom drama, The Verdict Is Yours, tomorrow night, the same night you'll have a chance to see Dana Andrews, Ann Baxter, Stu Irwin, and June Collier in The Right-Hand Man. This penetrating study of a hard-working, hard-boiled Hollywood agent will come to you right here tomorrow night on Playhouse 90.
What are they talking about?
Liza Minnelli for hot dogs.
They're talking about Talk About.
Prince Charles is right.
Weekdays at 8:30, right here on Buzzer.
Welcome back to Play Your Hunch. Our game is all tied up at one apiece, and we have a most interesting problem about to present to you. May we have our next problem, please? Observe very carefully three fine-looking young gentlemen. They, of course, label Mr. X, Mr. Y, and Mr. Z. Now, Mr. and Ms. Molidor, it's up to you. You're going to play or pass on this one.
Let's play.
I'll play? Yeah. All right. Take a good look at these three gentlemen. They are all songwriters. And writers, may I say, they are the brightest, youngest, and most successful songwriters in the music business. And they're all holding copies of their hit tunes. One of them, however, is responsible for writing the lyrics of a song that's become one of the great American classics. Now, to give you a little clue, we've made a record of this talented young man singing his own composition. Can we hear that recording, please?
You ain't nothing but a hound dog. It's around my door. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Around my door.
Well, there you heard it. A great American classic, beloved to all of us, Hound Dog. He's the gentleman we're looking for. Which one of these young men made that recording and is the composer of You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog? Is it Mr. X? Mr. Y? Or Mr. Z? Talk it over.
Well, Mr. Y seems awfully self-conscious. He was giggling when the record was going on. And Mr. X seems altogether too much composed for his own good. It seems like...
I think that he didn't think it was something to be laughed at. I think he's kind of proud of it.
Well, that is a serious song.
Yeah. And he looks a little, notice there, I don't know if this has much to do with their complexion. Or Mr. X, looks like he spent most of his time inside thinking about it. Where the other two might have been out swimming or something. More like
well, I might add, they're all very successful songwriters. They all have big hit songs to their credit. Which one do you think it is?
I'd say X.
X.
You think it's Mr. X? Mr. X, would you step back here to the piano, please? Could you open the back curtain here? They have selected you. I wonder, Mr. X, if you would stand right here. And I'm going to play the piano for you. Good luck to you. Here's the chord. Let's hear the song that you wrote.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
I love that song. This is Jerry Lieber, half of the team of Mike Stoller and Jerry Lieber. Jerry, nice to see you. Let's bring Mr. Y and Mr. Z. We'll get a chance to talk to Jerry in just a minute. Come on back here, gentlemen. Mr. Y, you first. Would you hand me that envelope and let's find out the song you wrote? I think I'll sing your song. I already know what it is. Don't stare at me while I'm singing, would you please? Magic moments, memories we've been sharing. You know that one, don't you? This, of course, is another fine songwriter, Burt Bacharach. Burt, nice to see you. And who are you? Oh, nice to see you. May I see your song, please? I'll let you know if we like it or not. And you're gonna, believe me. Now, if I can play this. Once I was alone. So lonely. Of course, that's Canadian Sunset, and this is Norman Gimbel. Norman, nice to see you. Let's talk to Jerry Lieber first. Jerry is responsible for so many of the songs that Elvis Presley has written. Jailhouse Rock, you did that picture with him?
Yes.
And you got the #1 song in the country right now, haven't you?
Yes.
What's the name of that one, sir?
Yakety Yak.
You know Yakety Yak. Jerry soon leaves for Hollywood to write his first Broadway musical with Mr. Ben Hecht, am I right?
That's right.
Well, we wish you lots of good luck, Jerry. He's one of my favorites. He's great, this boy. A lot of great songs to his credit. This is Burt Bacharach. Burt is under contract to Paramount Pictures, and responsible for songs like Magic Moments, The Story of My Life, Love Bank, and has written many of the title songs from the pictures at Paramount. Burt, it's delightful to have you on. He's a fine pianist and conductor. Conducts for Marlene Dietrich, Vic Damone, many of the great people in show business. Down here is Norman Gimbel. Hello, Norman. Norman wrote Canadian Sunset. He's a very serious young man. He wrote songs like Ricochet Romance, Papaya Mama, and soon, we are proud to announce, it's October?
December 18th.
December 18th, the new Fuhrer and Martin show called Hoop Up. Norman Gimbel wrote that song, and we're just delighted. Wrote that show, and it's about to open on Broadway, and it's going to be one of the big ones. We have a little something for you boys, because you do so much writing. We have new Estabrook Safari pen and pencil set. The Safari twin cartridge pen and carries its own spare ink supply, and only Estabrook offers a choice of 32 replaceable points. Thank you very much for being on Play Your Hunch. Good luck to you. That's a nice problem. Then the young ladies, they are all bachelors and quite rich, I might add. Want to go out the stage door there? You ready to continue along? The scores are 2-1 in favor of the challengers. Let's see how you do on this problem. May we have our next problem, please? We go into the art world for our next problem. Observe 3 busts here. Of course, they are labeled X, Y, and Z. Now, Mr. and Ms. Shepard, it's up to you. You going to play or pass?
We'll play.
All right, observe these classic-looking busts. 2 of these gentlemen are famous Roman emperors. The third is just nobody in particular, an unknown taxpayer, maybe, of the same era. Look closely and tell me which is the bust of the unknown gentleman. Is it X? Is it Y? Or is it Z?
The hairdos in those days were pretty much the way the one on Z is, don't you think?
That's right.
And Y, of course, looks obviously as though it were someone.
One of the Caesars, perhaps,
Yes.
huh? X is just a fine, modern-looking boy.
There's the signal.
Now, what's the problem again?
Which one is Mr. Nobody? 2 of them are of well-known Roman emperors. One is nobody. Which one is nobody?
I'd go along with X.
I think so, too.
You think it's X?
X
All right,
is
they're going to play their hunch on X. Rosemary, would you hold up that card? And that's Augustus.
Oh.
That's incorrect. I'm sorry. The play passes to Mr. and Ms. Molidor. You have 2 to select from, Y and Z. Which one is Mr. Nobody?
Do we talk this over now, Murray?
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead.
Y looks like an obvious choice to be somebody.
Yeah.
But maybe they're trying to fool us again.
No, I think Z is the nobody. I think Z is the nobody.
There's the signal. Your time is up. This is the important point. You will win the game if you get it right. Which one do you think it is?
I think it's Z.
You think it's Z? Let me hold up this card.
No.
That's nobody. You have won. Play your hunch. Mrs. Molidor didn't know she won. Let's find out who this is. This is Caesar. So we have winners on Play Your Hunch. Mr. and Ms. Shepard, you have been delightful champions. You've won a Somer piano and a trip to Florida. We do have going-away presents for you. Johnny, tell them what we have in the way of going-away presents.
Yes, we have the Polaroid camera for you and also a bottle of My Sin perfume by Lanvin. Compliments of Play Your Hunch.
They're all confused. Thank you so much. See you again soon. Mr. and Mrs. Molidor, you are our new champions, and as we start the game tomorrow, you'll be going for the great big grand prize. We'll see you all tomorrow on Play Your Hunch. Bye.
Milo's Pretzels by Susan Perret. Play Your Hunch is a Mark Goodson, Bill Codman production in association with the CBS Television Network.